The original owner of the company was Joseph Harris. He started over 140 years ago, based right here in Rochester. The company grew over the years. It became from a localized company to a national company, selling seed throughout the whole country. They did both flower and vegetable seeds. It went through several generations. When it first started, they did all the breeding, all the seed producing themselves. Then over the years, we've become a distributor for a lot more breeders throughout the country. So that has opened up a lot more better genetics and things like that we can supply the growers. We sell all types of seeds. I can't remember our last count, but on the seed side, we have over 2,000 SKUs. We sell both traditional treated seed on the vegetable side as well as untreated seed, organic seed. Being certified organic, it's an investment on the company. We have separate packing areas for it, separate seed storage. It all is kept away from any sort of treatments. The treatments, there's a lot of them that vary kind of depending on if it's a flower seed or vegetable seed. Sometimes the seeds are film coated. Most of them are fungicides to help the seed fight off any diseases early on during the germination process, to protect the young seedlings. Everything has moved a little bit more digital in recent years, and so the online presence is very important. We still have a lot of the traditional people who want a printed catalog. The catalog follows the growers out into the field. It's on their tractors, it's out in the barn. A lot of them request extra copies of it. So it is a great source of information for them. There's a lot of different people here who have their own specialized skill sets. There's a lot of different departments. You have your human resources, your accounting, then you have your marketing team, your sales teams, you have your in-house reps who are taking calls, then you have people doing data entry. Then out in the warehouse, we have your material handlers, your people who pick orders, people who are scanning orders, we have packers. Then out into actual production of packing, so we have people who pack small seed, large seed. We have our lab who's doing germination testing. We do our own trials here as well, so we have an outside staff who does the growing and the trials. Then product management, we have different product managers for every class. We have an organic manager, a vegetable manager, a supplies manager, a flower manager, a plug and liner, a live goods manager. We've had people who've started out in customer service and then they did really well. They learned the product line and they moved up into part of our sales team. So there's a lot of opportunity for growth, once you come in, but kind of depends if you're coming straight out of college, you're going to have to work your way up most of the time. You're not going to come right in and become a manager, but within a few short years, we've seen a lot of people come in, getting their feet wet for 1 or 2 years and move on up. Anytime somebody has any sort of experience, either farm experience or has taken coursework, that's definitely going to move them to the top of the list on the resumes. But you don't have to have that ag background to definitely advance within the company. There's a lot of different trade shows and different expos that go on. There's large ones for greenhouse growers. There is the ASTA, the American Seed Trade Association. They meet every year. That's a great meeting place that's where all the breeders come and they try to make connections with different seed companies. If you're a startup seed breeder, that's the place to be. It is a good industry, a lot of good people out there getting out on the farm, helping them solve their problems, doing variety selections, helping them with disease control. There's a lot of the basic fundamentals that every company needs, but having that grower background, knowing what growers are going through. If you're working in accounting, the hardships of a lot of money up front, and then they get their once they harvest the crops, working with growers to help them out with that. So it's not just going out and producing crops or producing plants.